After that tragic collapse, United States President Joe Biden has also issued a statement saying that the country's government should pay to rebuild the Baltimore bridge that collapsed earlier in the day and move heaven and earth to reopen the port at the earliest. He also urged the Congress to approve funds for it. The U.S. President also said the federal agencies are assisting with search and rescue efforts around the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Well, the bridge collapsed and several people in vehicles into the water, into the river. And multiple U.S. Coast Guard units which were stationed very nearby, thank God, were immediately deployed along with local emergency personnel. And the Coast Guard is leading the response to the port, where representatives from the Federal Highway Administration, the FBI, Department of Transportation, the Army Corps of Engineers, as well as Maryland officials and Baltimore Police and Fire, are all working together to coordinate an emergency response. Officials at the scene estimate 8 people were unaccounted for were unaccounted for. That number might change. 2 have been rescued, 1 without injury, 1 in critical condition. And the search and rescue operation is continuing for all those remaining as we speak.
Brian continues to be with us. Brian, what has the United States President said on this tragedy?
In the wake of this very devastating incident happened in Baltimore, now President Joe Biden addressed the nation expressing the sorrow over the tragic bridge collapse that occurred early in the day. The president, who had even a personal familiarity with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, now emphasized the urgent need for coordinated response and even pledged full federal support for recovery efforts. And this incident that unfolded around 1:30 a.m. when a container ship collided with the Francis Scott Bridge caused a section, and even President Biden recounted his own experience also that traverses the bridge during his travels between Delaware and Baltimore, underscoring the significance of the structure to the region's transportation infrastructure. And even, President Joe Biden also assured Governor Murray, who's the Baltimore's mayor, and other local officials of the federal government's unwavering support in the aftermath of tragedy, and stressed the commitment to rebuild the port and the bridge. And even he promised to deploy all necessary federal resources to aid in the emergency response and subsequent recovery efforts. And while there are initial assessments point to this tragic happening, President Biden also commended the timely action of ship personnel in alerting authorities, which facilitated the closure of the bridge, potentially averting further casualties. And he also acknowledged the profound impact of the bridge collapse on both the local community and even nation's economy. The president also emphasized the importance of expeditiously restoring operations on the port of Baltimore, with around 15,000 jobs reliant on the port's activity. Swift action is also imperative to mitigate the economic repercussions of the incident. And definitely his commitment to working closely with the Maryland officials and even Congress underscores the administration's determination to provide comprehensive support through the recovery process. And as the recovery efforts are also continuing and investigation into the cause of the collapse are also unfolding, the nation also stands in solidarity with the people of Baltimore, unified in the resolve to overcome this very tragedy and emerge stronger together. Yes, Uday.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.